College students, I was one once, never like being told what to do, and never is that more true than on Halloween night. The University of Wisconsin-Madison created a whole webpage for Halloween cultural awareness, told students to avoid racist, crude, or culturally insensitive costumes, as if, well, they're college students, so they do need to be told that. Emily Jashinsky is here, culture editor for The Federalist. I'm trying to figure out why this is controversial, other than the fact that now everything's controversial.
It depends on how they start monitoring things like this, of course, because we've seen at many other schools, and actually for years. This is one of the things that, back in, I don't know, around 2015, I started seeing this a lot. And I worked at the time for a group, Young America's Foundation, that was doing tons of stuff on college campuses, monitoring, and still does, what's happening there. And we saw Halloween become this like powder keg. And actually, a lot of people forget that's one of the things that basically exploded at Yale when the Christakises got in huge trouble. That's seen now as a pivotal moment, a pivotal turning point.
No, fair enough, and there are sort of times it sort of has gotten ridiculous, but at the same time, you did have Prince Harry dress up as a Nazi, okay? You did have Justin Trudeau run around in blackface. Like, there's certain things that we can all sort of agree are bad, right? That even though you may have the right to dress up in a certain way, it's sort of dumb, disgusting, and when observed, embarrassing.
Of course. And then routinely, though, at the same time, we see it go in a really bad direction where every single thing is classified as cultural appropriation based on the interpretation and even unreasonable sort of non-consensus interpretations that other people on campus have, which creates this total PC nightmare, this like tangled web of, my truth versus your truth on Halloween on college campuses that gets really gnarly, and I think reflects broader speech concerns that are happening in the classroom. And it does affect the way people self-censor in the classroom and in their papers when, they put a sombrero on for Halloween and are told that that's racist. Now, I'm sure there are some ways to do that that are actually genuinely coming from bigotry, but I'm sure there are other people who do that, that are not bigoted.
Yeah, or it was the only costume left in the fraternity house. You put the hat on, you went to the party. That happens too. I think about this though in a larger sense that how sort of nothing is just fun anymore, right? And you think about Disney, for example, after how they've sort of morphed into being now, in addition to making great animated films and entertaining us and creating memories, that they now have to feel as though the need to have a political side in their Pocahontas costume. That they're selling for $49.95 on the website. I'm wondering how they get away with this.
I don't know. I think it's a really good question. Disney gets away with a lot of things I don't understand. I think it's because they're Disney and they are very, very much, but they don't even, this case study is interesting because they don't even get held to their own rules, like rules people who work at Disney based on leaks that Chris Rufo and others have gotten, where we see them holding other people to very, very progressive standards and ideological progressive standards of what constitutes bigotry or not. And so that they're not getting held to their own standards here is an interesting thing. But to your point, Leland, we can't have fun anymore because we just can't agree on any of this anymore. And that's why universities have to send reminders like this out, because we don't have that sort of consensus trust. We don't have that. And when you lose that, you lose so much more.
I'm thinking about the scene from Animal House, No Fun of Any Kind. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.